Next Level Mindset, bringing you another powerful and positive video. Let's talk about 3 problems you're going to face on the spiritual path. I'm going to share my experience with that. And if you stay with me all the way through to the end of the video, I've got some extra bonus points, spiritual pro tips, something off the script. You do not want to miss this. Let's get into it. So if you're watching this video right now, you're probably on the spiritual path. This is confirmation that you're going to have problems. But what are these problems and how can we overcome them? These are just a few that stood out for me. Let me know in the comment section what stands out most for you. I'd like to know about that. So the first problem you're going to run into on the spiritual path is problems with words. Think about how tricky words can be, right? When I look back in my life, I think about some words that mean one thing to some persons could mean something different to somebody else. Something that may clarify something for me could bring confusion for somebody else. So words are tricky. One thing that I've learned to keep in mind on my spiritual journey on this spiritual path, and that's one of the problems you're going to have. How do we use our words? As a matter of fact, the scripture tells us that there's power in our words, how we speak those words. And we're going to talk more about affirmations coming up in a minute. But think about that in your life. How do you use your words? Because that's going to be one of the problems on this spiritual path that you run into, how we use our words. And they can either build up or they can either tear down. So I want to use my words positively and to bring life. So that's the first problem you're going to run into as you increase your spiritual knowledge is problems with words. They can be tricky, but we can overcome them. The second problem on your spiritual journey is living out your vision right there in front of those people, right? Remember those time that they said you couldn't make it? Remember those ones who talked about you? You got to live the dream right out in front of them. And God will put us in situations where everything He's purposed us to do, those around us will have to witness that. So living out your vision right there in real time. One of the problems we face is worrying about maybe what they think, right? Maybe what they're saying, how they're talking. But I've learned in my life to not allow anything to stop me from doing the best in my life, fulfilling the vision that God has placed in my life. So the next time you look at the purpose that you have, the passion of your spiritual path, the problem that you're going to run into is maybe living out that vision right there in front of those who told you you were not gonna be anything, and you gotta prove to them and to yourself that you can go to that next level. And if you're part of the family, you already know to the next level, everything that we do. Now, before we go to this next one, just want to take some time to say thank you for all of my family subscribers coming back, those of you who take the time to view my content, the Cash App donations, everything really means a lot. Appreciate that. If this is your first time, great music, entertainment, inspiration, motivation, hit that subscribe button, join the family. Let's solve these problems together. Love to have you as a part of Next Level Community. So the third problem that you're going to face on the spiritual path is balancing out believing or knowing. One thing that I've learned in my life, there's certain things that I want to believe for, and there's other things that I just need to know. If I'm looking for a miracle in my life, that's not a time for me to believe. That is the time for me to know what is the truth for myself. And so there's now a new light that has come on in my life. I begin to look at it in a different way. I don't believe what I used to believe. I have a sense of knowing to the next level, knowing what is God's will for my life. On your spiritual journey, as you begin to travel that road, you're going to have times when you have to believe certain things, and then you're going to have to balance that out with what you know to be truth for yourself. That's one thing that has helped me on my journey, knowing what is on the path. I remember one time when I was traveling from New Jersey. I was in a car and I could have believed that the car was going to get me safe, right? The belt had broke, but that was a time when I had to know that I was going to make a way to get back, do whatever I had to do to make it back home. So that's part of it. That's another problem you're going to face in your spiritual path, balancing out what you know and what you believe, because that's going to be very important on the spiritual journey. So now listen, I've got some extra bonus spiritual tips off the script I want to share with you. But first, I've got to tell you about my brand new upcoming single. For those of you who follow my music, it's called God's Time. I'm giving away a free download copy of my single God's Time. Go to Take It to the Altar Music, leave us your email. We're building our fan base. I want to get that to you. I'm excited about that. And while you're doing that, go on over to Spotify, stream my brand new single. It's out right now everywhere. Everywhere your music is streamed. It's called Nobody. You can get it on the Amazon site. Put that on your favorite Spotify playlist. Do that with the links in the description. Let's go back to the chat, see where we at. Don't want to miss nobody like that. We might come back. Yeah, so that's part of my reason for doing this also, is to network and reach out to the family and just build this community, as well as increase my knowledge of doing this. So if you've enjoyed this so far and it's giving you value, do me a favor and hit that like button for the algorithm. Thank you. This first bonus point that I want to share with you, it deals with the idea of words. Remember we talked about those words before? I'm learning to use affirmations as powerful words. As a matter of fact, one of my favorites says, I have eliminated the words I can't from my life. Stepping out on faith, I can do all things through the power of God within me that I am. So think about your words when you come up to affirmations, how they can be tricky, but we can also use them to elevate our lives. And when it comes to spirituality, living on this spiritual journey, a lot of times some of us reach places where we feel like giving up, feel like throwing it all away. I want to share this video with you right here. It's about you didn't come this far to quit. I think that would be a great video for you to watch next. So check that out. We'll talk again over there. Stay blessed, stay positive. And remember, there's nothing that needs to be done that together we cannot do. I'll see you on the next level. Peace.